Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. And before we dive into today's Kiki, which is Kyle Richards' husband, Mauricio Umansky, doing the absolute most out here on these social media, blog, YouTube, media, streets. It's just a hot mess. I'm really confused, Mauricio. Like, less is more, less is more. He's talking about Kathy. He's talking about Garcelle's son. He's talking about the Hiltons. Like, you're doing the most, Mauricio. We're gonna need you to have several seats. But before we dive in, you know what to do. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because a Kiki is always better at community. Check out our description box down below and shop our love collection. So with that, you guys, let's dive right on in. So this is according to Reality Blurb. It says, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Mauricio Umansky shares new details on Kathy's meltdown, status with Kyle and Kathy, and talks Jack's drama, plus why he didn't mention Hilton's on Buying Beverly Hills. Mauricio Umansky was featured on Wednesday night's episode of Watch What Happens Live. Side note, again, the only, and I mean the only, from what I can find, from what I'm seeing, from what I'm hearing, the only TV shows and outlets and media places like Us Weekly and Reality Blurb and Page Six and Watch What Happens Live, those are the only places I'm seeing that's really giving an E! News that's really giving Mauricio or Buying Beverly Hills any media coverage. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if Netflix just isn't giving them any marketing, if they're not giving them any advertising, or if they were supposed to, really promote it themselves on their own because they have all the connections through Bravo and NBC. I don't know, but let's keep going. And during the show, he shared what he knows about Kathy Hilton's meltdown in Aspen, which occurred at his and Kyle Richards' $8.995 million Aspen home as he slept. Again, side note, it's really funny. They had all the smoke for Kathy promoting the tequila when every single episode, all they do is promote the agency. And them even being in Aspen was nothing but a promo because right after that, they put the Aspen house on the market. So that was nothing but a promo for the agency and for them to do a promo for their houses that they were going to sell. But I digress. Let's keep going. Okay, so weeks after Lisa Rinna was seen accusing Kathy of berating Kyle and threatening her entire family on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Mauricio revealed what he found out when he woke up before offering an update on where both he and Kyle stand with Kathy, admitting to finding his laughter over Erica Jane's treatment of Garcelle Beauvais' son, 14-year-old Jax Nylon, quote, horrendous. I woke up that night late and it was early morning. Rinna was extraordinarily distraught from everything she'd heard and seen. I can't with this crap. I can't with this crap. Kathy had a hard time that morning, and it was a very intense night, without question, Mauricio recalled on the November 30th episode of Watch What Happens Live. I was not there, so I can't say exactly what was said or what wasn't said, but there was no question that night was really intense. Mauricio, you weren't there. You don't know. I can't even read this with a straight face. The BS, the backtracking, I just cannot. This is what I think. Your first reaction was the truth. When you were on that private jet, we all saw it on the episode. You were like, where's Kathy? Cool, casual as a cucumber. You had no inclination. You had no idea that this alleged meltdown happened. Stop lying, Mauricio. You're lying through your teeth. But let's continue. The night and then the weeks that followed were so intense, in fact, that Kyle and Kathy have remained estranged ever since. The truth is that they really have not spoken since all of this has gone down, and I'm just being supportive, of Kyle, and eventually, hopefully, the families get back together, Mauricio confirmed. As for his relationship with Kyle's sisters, Mauricio said, Kim and I are all good, and Kathy and I are all good. To be clear, he continued, I stay completely out of their personal dynamics. It's the best solution for me. I stay out of it. I support Kyle 100% on everything she says, does, and will ever do. And that's my philosophy and my politics. All right, Mauricio, I'll give you half of a bone for supporting your wife, which is what you just should do as a husband. I get that part. Fine. But the rest of this is a bunch of baloney. You were not acting like you knew something intense had gone down, that Lisa Rinna was all distraught, having PTSD, that Kathy Hilton was all upset on the private jet. We already saw your actual natural reaction. Mauricio, this is a bunch of hogwash. Hogwash. Then he goes on to say, while it seemed hard to believe to some that Mauricio remained asleep amid Kathy's meltdown, alleged meltdown, he insisted to a curious fan that he did not wake up amid the drama. I was actually sleeping. They stayed out really late that night. They all went out. They went to the Caribou Club. I was with them until about midnight, maybe 12:30, and then I got tired. I always do. Anybody knows me knows I go to bed early. I went home, I went to bed, and all the S happened, he revealed. Again, Mauricio, you weren't there, so you actually don't know what happened. So please, shut up. Although Mauricio wasn't a part of the meltdown drama, he did face some backlash amid Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 12 after he, Kyle, Dorit Kemsley, and Paul PK Kemsley were seen laughing after learning that Erica had drunkenly targeted Jax, telling him to get the F out of here at Garcelle's birthday party. Full transparency. The night that we filmed that, we really weren't around. I had not seen what had happened between Erica and Jax at the time, and so we filmed it. It happened. And later on, we watched the show, and when I watched the show, I cringed. Mauricio admitted. I thought it was horrendous. It was just in such bad taste, in such poor taste, I felt so bad. According to Mauricio, he immediately reached out to Garcelle to apologize, and she was quick to offer her forgiveness. She accepted it right away, totally understood, Mauricio shared. I told her I had no idea. Whether it was Jax or Portia Umansky, I was the same way, Mauricio explained. Watching the way it was and what happened was horrible. I would never condone that. It was absolutely disgusting, and I apologized to her. I apologized today again to Garcelle and to Jax. Also on Wednesday's Watch What Happens Live, Mauricio was questioned by someone who wanted to know why he didn't mention Kathy and Rick Hilton, who he previously worked for at the Hilton and Highland real estate firm, when discussing how he got his start in the industry on his Netflix spinoff, Buying Beverly Hills. Okay, quick side note to all of that. One, I'm going to give him a little bit of grace because at least it may be too little too late, but at least he is still being straightforward, apologetic to Garcelle and to Jax publicly. And it's not one of those, well, I already apologized situations or whatever. I will give him that he is being at least aware enough and humble enough to continuously apologize and also to publicly apologize. I don't like this whole well, we apologized in private. Well, you disrespected in public, so you need to apologize in public. So I will give him that. Do I think that it absolves him? No, because you can say all day long, I didn't see the clip. But if anybody tells you in any type of context that an adult cussed out a child, I don't know how that's funny. I don't know how you're happy that they did it in any context. So I'll give him the grace for continuously to apologize and to publicly do it, but I'm not buying the rationale. You see what I'm saying? All right, let's keep going. He goes, the reality is I didn't feel like it needed to be mentioned, he stated. There's a lot of drama going on between Kathy and Kyle right now. There's enough going on. I didn't need to rehash it. I didn't need to bring it into something new. It was really all about me and about us and not about anybody else. So it was just something I chose not to mention. Okay, now this one, Mauricio Umansky, I'm calling out BS. You did not mention Rick Hilton because you're bitter and you're salty that he allegedly was not ever going to promote you because of your shady business practices. I mean, was he wrong? You've been sued multiple times. You've been accused of very shady business practices. And you guys, I did watch Buying Beverly Hills. I'm just going to be honest. I wanted to check it out for myself. I wanted to see like myself so so if I'm going to speak on it or speak about it, I wanted to speak from having actually watched it. And I will say this, his own stepdaughter, Farrah, she had issues with the amount of commission she was making. So if you are not giving a fair amount of commission to your own daughter, then I wonder who else you're not giving a fair commission to. Other agents were complaining about their commission, the splits, how it was like 80-20 when at other agencies, it's like 90-10. So you're taking a bigger piece of their pie. And Farrah herself was complaining about this. So was Rick wrong? You're not even giving your own daughter, sure she's step, but you guys are so close. Like you're not even giving her a decent amount of commission. Even she's complaining about it. So, I think it's your pride that got in the way. I think it was very personal. I think you were being very petty. And you said, oh, I worked for my father and then blah, blah, blah. But it's just like, okay, maybe you did work for your dad, but you can't lie. You worked a decade at Hilton and Highland. And then you poach their clients and other agents to start your own agency. To leave that out is deceptive, and it's a big FU to the Hiltons. So you're causing more drama than solving. You could have done that in like one sentence. I also worked for my brother-in-law, Rick Hilton, or I worked for my brother-in-law at Hilton and Highland, whatever. That was a great experience for me. And then I branched off and made my own agency. Boom. You could have said it in one sentence. You could have been respectful and you could have been honest. But Mauricio, boy, bye. Like, miss me with all of this. Again, I give you a little bit of grace because you are still publicly talking about Garcelle in an apologetic way, and also to Jax, I'll give you grace for that. I do think it's good and decent when a husband supports his wife, not blindly, but good to support them. But the rest of this stuff, too little, too late. It's a bunch of damage control, and I simply don't believe you, especially with the whole Kathy Hilton stuff. Were you even sleeping? Like, we saw your natural reaction on the private jet. You were like, where's Kathy? Not like anything bad happened. Mauricio, stop playing in our faces. But I want to know what you guys think. Put it down in the comment section below. Do you believe, Mauricio, he just happened to be, at home in Aspen and he slept through the whole thing while everything went down, allegedly? Or do you think he is now just doing damage control because we all were like, well, if Kathy Hilton's having this epic meltdown in Mauricio's house, where was he? And how come he had zero response the next morning when he just casually said, where's Kathy? So put it down below. I know everybody was laughing. He's like, oh, he was with Dorit at the hotel. Maybe, maybe not. But put it down below. And also, what do you think about Mauricio not, being honest about the fact that he actually really got his start in real estate because he worked for Rick Hilton? What do you think about him lying about that and not including that in the show? Put it down below. And also, do you kind of think, I'm kind of also on this side where I'm like, this is beating a dead horse. Garcelle has not talked about it. Kathy isn't talking about it. Why is Mauricio still talking about it? Like, we need some fresh content. We need some fresh drama. This is just repeat, recycle, repeat, recycle. But this is what we got. So this is what we got. So put it down below, guys. But before you do that, you know what to do. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because a kiki is always better with community. Check out the description box down below and shop our love collection. With that, you guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care, where your host, writer, actor, and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and join the conversation on Instagram at Candy Washington. Let's go!